There's times so we'll design the role and another part of it. So we'll launch the role. And if you look at even our opportunity descriptions, they're different. We don't do a laundry list of minimum qualifications and years of experience and all of these racist ways of measuring somebody's capacity or skill set. We look at evidence. We look at skill sets. And a lot of people have transferable skills and aren't given the opportunity because, oh, you haven't held that title before. And we know why women of color, Black women, Indigenous women don't hold certain titles in organizations. You're underpaid, you're overlooked, you get less promotions, you're deemed more and get lower performance evaluations every year. So it's systemic, and really recognizing that these are systemic, there's systemic oppression and systems in place to keep women from the suite, to keep Black women from the C-suite. So we're not looking at, oh, this person has had this title, therefore I'm making tons of assumptions of what they can do and what they can't do. We're really looking at the evidence and creating a scorecard. We call the scorecard. That's from the book, The Who, that we adapted from. And we develop, it's a rubric that is answering questions like, what's the mission of this role? What will this person need in order to be successful? And not just job duties. We're not looking, this is not a bullet point of job duties. This is, in 2 years, I can give you this scorecard and here's what you'll need to achieve in order to be successful in the role. And we define that. What are the core competencies, that how this person will need to navigate this role? And we design the scorecard, and our opportunity description is quite literally the scorecard. So we give the candidate that exact thing of what you will need to achieve. We're not doing the list of duties. And so now we're having a much more evidence-based process where we're not doing behavioral questions or like, tell me how you would act if this happened, situational or behavioral questions. Although sometimes those kinds of questions lend to understanding quote unquote soft skills. We call them power skills at Uproot. But we do a lot of evidence-based questions that look, or competency questions that look at, tell me about a time when you did X, right? And I think that is an important aspect of our process. The other thing that I'll note, and a couple of things and there's a lot of different things that we do different, but what I'll say is uniquely different is also we level the playing field from the get-go, from the start. So a lot of people apply to a job. We've had 500 applications for one position. We just had a VP role that we filled that had 486 for one role, right? Wow. Which is a lot. That's a lot. That is. And oftentimes only 5, maybe 10 people have a phone screen, right? So we don't do phone screens because, again, disrupting the gatekeeping role we play. Instead, everybody gets an interview. We have a one-way video interview that you record yourself at home. We don't have a cover letter. Instead, we have more intentional, targeted, short written responses. And we do that for 2 reasons. One, to get everybody the opportunity to interview. And we get to, the other reason is, again, I'm neurodivergent. So I articulate my expertise better, speak like orally. And some people are better at it in writing. Some people in both, which is great. But we wanted to give up people opportunity to shine in whatever way feels best to them. And so we match both the video interview and the written, which is weighed equally as we're looking at the candidates. But also, I'm not the decision maker. I'm not the one that's looking at the applications and saying, this person is going to move to the final round. Instead, we have a search committee that's comprised of people from the organization, different tenures. So people who have been there shorter or people who have been there longer. We look at racial and gender diversity as indicators as well to get a diverse committee of people and their perspectives and lens. I always say, like, I don't believe in objectivity. Everybody brings a bias. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. We all have bias. That's okay. Yes. It's what we do with that bias. Right? It's what we do and how we disrupt that bias. So the committee, I shepherd the committee through the entire process of selecting the candidates, moving them into the final round, which is a final interview day. And I think the other thing that I'll say to that is the final interview day is like, we will kick off without introducing ourselves with titles in the same way that I did. Instead, everybody brings a photo of something that grounds them, something that grounds them. Instead of, hey, my name is, and this is my title, we go around the space and we never talk titles. We just talk about our why and why am I here and why am I grounded. We've had 4 interview days in the last 2 weeks. And it brings a level of vulnerability that I don't think you would get otherwise. And I think
Mm.
vulnerability is the recipe for connection. And so you can see, I mean, I myself have been emotional when sharing my photo. You see that we are so much more than what we walk in the door with every day in our job. That we bring my grandmother, my mother, I bring my family, I bring my community, and we're able to get to know each other in a much more authentic way. And so we go through our interview day, half day for each candidate, and then we do a co-referencing stage, for example. That's another example of something that is, again, we're thinking this is a two-way street. They're interviewing the organization and vice versa. And so we check three of their references and vice versa. We tell the candidate, who else do you want to talk
I
to?
love that.
I'm gonna check. So I took you through a pretty
Yeah.
long version of it, but I wanted to highlight some of the strategies and practices that I think lend to a candidate centered experience.